Welcome back to the Ballman Motors YouTube channel. So in today's video, I wanted to kind of take you guys through a little walkthrough of my 05 C55 here and basically go over everything that is wrong with it and things I'm gonna need to fix and try to get everything good so it's, you know, back to good running condition and also looks the part. So I'm gonna go ahead and start at the rear here. Basically the whole rear bumper needs to be replaced. You can kind of tell, like right here, that it is not a perfect match. It looks actually a little worse on camera than it is, but you know, it's definitely something I want to get fixed. The right exhaust is just ever so slightly down over the left, so I think it's going to need maybe a hanger adjustment, something like that. So I'll look into that. Inside the trunk here, I already replaced this here cover that was missing. So I found one of those on eBay for like $7. It's not a perfect match color-wise, but it definitely covers up the, you know, fuse box under there. Right here, this here is busted, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Underneath here, we do still have the Space Saver tire, which is pretty nice. I think underneath that, yeah, we got the air pump and the jack and all that stuff still. That's pretty much it for the trunk. All right, I put the C55 badge on when I purchased the car. I didn't have one. I bought a cheap set, and I already regret it because these numbers are quite a bit larger than the actual AMG. So these are Chinese knockoffs that were like 12 bucks. So at some point here, I'll spend the probably $40, I think it is, for a real set of C55 badging. So the AMG is still the original, I believe. But other than that, I do like these C55s. They got the factory installed rear lip, which is nice. All right, moving to the gas door here. We have this little piece in here that's supposed to come out, and then the lock pin comes through the door right here. So if you aren't careful, you can push the door in too far, so there's a lip here. So I need to replace that little piece. The vehicle was hit right here, so this piece of trim, let me close this door. This piece of trim right here is missing, and this has been dented in a little bit, so that needs to be pulled out and then a new piece of trim put on. So that's not too terrible. That's the only like real hit spot other than the front bumper. So moving on into the back seat here. Interior wise, we're not too bad. Probably could use some this little door handle cover here that covers up the screws. Other than that, the seats are in decent condition back here. It's got the nice Alcantara shoulder pads, which I always like. The rear sunshade option that I have here, the motor works, but the mechanism's not working. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, probably a linkage or a gear or something like that. So I'm sure there's plenty of people that have already had to fix that, but that's something I'm gonna need to do. All right, moving up here to the front. We have ripped front seats right here and right here. So I'm going to basically need whole new seat bottom leathers. On the back, it's pretty good. It's in pretty good condition, so I'm not too worried about that. And the same goes for the driver's side. There's a little bit on the shoulder bolstering there, but there's also some rips in that seat as well. So basically both bottom seat leathers. I already put this on. This was another cheap eBay purchase. I think it was like $5 for that. That was missing. Another thing, this has Mercedes-Benz floor mats. I'd like to find some AMG ones. Let's see, what else here? Oh, there's a mechanism on the front here that holds this up at certain levels, and that is broken. This does have the cool button on either side, so you can press this button here or press this, and it opens the exact same compartment, which is pretty nice. Right here, I already replaced it. This was $105, and the old one was broken, and that is your super fancy cup holder that they still weren't able to engineer to something that actually lasts. But I got that fixed. I purchased a brand new one from Mercedes. As most of the used ones you'll find, this chrome trim piece inside here is broken. So wanted a fresh piece. I replaced this chrome trim ring so that snaps down, because before it was lifting up every time you shifted. I did install this radio. The car didn't have a radio when I got it. This radio is absolute trash. It's like a $150 one I purchased on Amazon. It's an Android unit that basically locks up all the time and resets and gets stuck, so I will be replacing that soon. But this is the MetroKit faceplate, which I think looks pretty nice, but yeah, definitely need a new radio in there. Oh, as far as controls, the heated seats on the passenger side do work, but the driver's side does not work. This here still works nice. Got a good suspension there. Each of these vents missing the little chrome strip right here, so I'm gonna have to probably replace that. Other than that, that's pretty much it on that door. We do have some clear coat problems right here in the paint. So when I do the bumper, well, both bumpers and this, and probably the hood, maybe even the front quarter, I'm going to do the mirrors as well. On the driver's side rear door here, we do have another bunch of marks here in the handle, as you can see. So probably going to replace that. It's almost got a little bit of a sticky rubberized texture to it. So I'm going to probably try to find some new ones for that. Oh, one other issue that I have had with this is there is a mechanism inside for the third seat belt here, the middle one. And when you have the seats folded down, it'll cause the safety latch to basically get latched, and it'll make it so you can't pull out the seat belt. So it's definitely an issue. You'll probably need to clean it or figure out what's going on there, but you have to basically take the seat apart in order to get inside to that. And of course, the typical saggy headliner that needs to be fixed. So that won't be too bad. I've done that before. The sunroof does not work, and it's been siliconed, so I'm guessing this has leaked in the past. So this is something to look into probably pretty far down the road. Definitely not on the top list of priorities, because sunroofs are just generally an absolute pain to work on. But we'll hit that another day. Same thing here with the door handle on the driver's door here, and also kind of around the seat controls. It's the same styled material, so I'm going to replace that as well. Here's a little bit better look at the seats. As you can see, it's not too terrible. There's a little bit of wear here on the bolster, but really it's up here in the front. So basically getting a whole new cover there. Now, I've already been working quite extensively on getting things like I replaced this. This had an Untitled like Amazon special badge, AMG that was there. So I took that and then used, what did I use? Q-tips and carburetor cleaner to actually dissolve most of the adhesive that was here. And then purchased this off of a W210 E55, this star off of eBay, which was a little too expensive, but unfortunately it didn't match up right. So just so you know, W210 and W203s, this star is different. I didn't want to purchase a whole new airbag, and I definitely didn't want the piece of metal of Falterbach, because this is an airbag, so I didn't want that blowing up in my face if the airbags go off. One thing left I still need to do is probably going to end up painting these buttons. These go for like $100 and sometimes $160 for a set of these. They're all supposed to be silver colored. But what I was kind of feeling here was that it almost seems like it's something that I might be able to paint. So we might give that a shot, and if it doesn't go well, well then we can still replace them. Speaking of replace, the steering wheel is going to be replaced, because you can kind of see all along here it's been kind of chewed up and everything. It looks like it's been painted black or dyed black. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace that. I prefer a nice smooth steering wheel. I did clean this already, so like this here was completely covered in grime. This steering wheel, you can tell it's the AMG one because it has the little bolster here for above where your thumbs would go, and then of course it has the shifter buttons on the back side, and that has the plus and the minus there. So those are definitely, you know, it's a little bit harder to find this, but there are a few floating out there, so I'll be getting that. Moving on, this here turn signal knob right here is a little bit of a light gray. Probably going to replace that so it, you know, matches a little bit better. Gauge cluster works well, which is actually a nice thing. Center console, back to these vents, you know, missing the chrome strip there and everything. The speaker grill was ripped out. I flattened it out, and I think it looks quite a bit better than it did, but eventually I need to find the correct piece with the plastic piece underneath, and they get really brittle, and they end up breaking. So right now it's just sitting there. And of course, it seems to be a Mercedes thing that the mirror covers on the sun visor vents typically like to break off. Like you can see, this one here is real loose, so let me be careful with that. But yeah, so I'm gonna need to replace that on that one, and that's pretty much it on the interior. Moving under the hood here, we have the M113 V8 here, and I have already put in K&N air filters, which I run in all my vehicles. I like it. Some people don't like them. You know, it's just, that's kind of a personal preference thing. But I have cleaned the absolute crap out of this hood with the steam cleaner, and then I 2K cleared the engine badge because it was really faded. So putting the 2K on it really brought out the signature and everything back, so it looks much better than it did. One of the previous owners painted the valve covers, unfortunately, gold, so I will probably be either stripping that off, or these are the, you know, kind of garbage valve covers that like to corrode. I guess it's a, I want to say it's a magnesium alloy, but basically they corrode, so I might end up just purchasing some new ones there. I do have oil leak in this car that I need to figure out, so that's definitely going to be something I'll have to work on in the future. But other than that, it runs pretty good. The biggest problem with it is the lifter tick. I've already put in Liqui Moly 5W40, and of course the Liqui Moly hydraulic lifter additive that they have, that helped it be a little bit quieter over the mobile one that I originally had in it, but still, it's just, since I've had this car, it definitely needs some work. So I'll probably be replacing all of the lifters on both banks when I do the valve covers and all that stuff. So kind of getting a whole project list here ready for this engine, and I think it'll be pretty good. It's got good power, runs pretty well other than the lifter noise. It's pretty loud, and it kind of made me nervous, but then again, I've put about 3,000 miles on this thing and it hasn't gotten worse. So it doesn't seem to really changing it too much. The other thing is the transmission. I don't know if it's had a service done yet on it, and I definitely think the conductor plate's probably close to going out. So I want to replace that. It's about a $250 part, so it's not too bad. So my W210 here, I made it from Florida into Georgia before the conductor plate went out, of course, on my way. So I had to spend $800 for a U-Haul to tow this thing all the way to Kentucky. And I replaced the conductor plate, and it's been fine ever since. But of course, you know, it had to just fall on my last trip up. I'd already turned over the other house, and it's just the way things go. So that was basically a $1,000 mistake, and I wish I had replaced it sooner. So for this car, I'm gonna go ahead and get it replaced before it goes out. And the reason I say it might be going out is I have sluggish downshifts, and sometimes it'll even hold the gear extra long and then kind of shift hard into gear. And then of course, Mercedes did the quote-unquote lifetime transmission fluid, and it's not, and it should be replaced at 100,000. Now this car has 192,000, so it is my hope that it's been replaced. But if not, you know, it's probably not a bad idea to go ahead and do a fluid flush. Now moving on, front brake rotors need to be replaced. The pads I think are okay, but I'll just replace everything there, and the rear rotors as well. And while I'm at it, probably going to end up replacing the tires. I'm not sure though. I'd like to find a set of 18-inch C55 wheels. These are the 17-inch C32 wheels on it. And I think the 18s just kind of fit the car a little bit better, and they fill it up. So I don't know. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me go ahead and close this hood. I originally put the star on this that came off my C32. The previous owner wanted his a Falterbach thing, and then I was like, I'm going to replace this front grille. And unfortunately, I'm not going to do that yet because they are anywhere from $400 to $600 for a stock C55 grille, because it's two pieces. You have your lower piece and then a piece that bolts onto the hood, as this is a CLK front clip essentially, and so you can't just put a regular W203 grille in this. It's the same as the headlights. These are CLK headlights, not W203 headlights. So let's see, the front grille here needs to be fixed, the little mesh part, and this whole bottom lip on the front bumper that's been stitched together with zip ties by previous owners, and it's split and everything like that, needs to be completely repaired and redone. There's chips all in the paint. It looks absolutely terrible. You can see that looks really bad. So what I'd like to do is probably bolster up the rear side of the front bumper and you know, fiberglass it, repair everything, get a fresh paint job there. There's a lot of chips in this hood too, so I think mainly this hood, even this front clip, probably most of this front end is going to end up getting repainted by the time it's all said and done. One other thing I did is replace the wiper blades. Now this car has a unique mechanism here on the wiper blades. So these are Bosch wiper blades that cost $65 for the pair. I only found them at O'Reilly's. Every other auto parts store was like, yeah, we don't carry those. So they only came on some Mercedes and Audis, and I think a Seat. So it's definitely not a common piece. They do install really easy and they work well, but it's just one of those expenses that the CLKs and some of these later W203s have that style. So I can't decide if I like this turn signal yet, but I don't know. We'll see. I might keep it smoked or not. And the other issue that's imminent right now, because I got to get this thing inspected, out of state, you know, plate transferred, is this headlight just went out on me again. And it's the second time I fixed it. I had to replace the igniter, and I think the ballast might be an issue. So I'm going to have to find another ballast or figure that out. But I need to get this headlight working so I can get, because they check the VIN and they do like, you know, the headlights and the brake lights and turn signals work. So once I get that done, I can get this registered in Kentucky, and I'll be good to go. So that's pretty much it. That's a brief overview of my 2005 C55 AMG. And let me know what you guys think. Some of these things here, if you have a different suggestion on how to fix it, or maybe a way to do it a little bit more economically. This, of course, isn't anything that's going to be a super fast fix. It's going to be quite the expensive venture, but I'm looking forward to it, and fixing little things. I don't know. I like projects that give me satisfaction. So let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.